Hello, and welcome to today's webinar, Everything You Need to Stay Connected from the Cloud. My name is Michelle, and I will be your moderator. With me today, I have Alicia Eve and Zach Ewan. Alicia is our Senior Manager of Product Marketing, who ensures that products are being built and updated to meet the needs of our customers. And Zach is one of our Customer Success Managers who works with customers like you every day to ensure your account is being optimized. Welcome, Alicia and Zach.
Thanks, Michelle.
Hello, everybody.
All right, well, on our agenda today, we will review our top tools and apps that we want to ensure you are using, highlight our feedback and approvals workflow, review e-signature, and finally highlight how remote access can be the tool you are missing to make sure you always remain connected. We're going to go through a lot of great content today, so please ask your questions in the Q&A panel. We also have Michelle with us from Customer Success, and she'll be answering questions throughout. So please ask those questions, and we'll have a live Q&A at the end. Additionally, we are recording today's session, and I will be sharing that recording with everyone when the webinar concludes. All right, Alicia, let's get started.
Sounds great. Well, thank you everyone for your time today. Before we dig in, I just wanted to take a few minutes to provide a brief overview of exactly who Citrix ShareFile is and what we have to offer. At Citrix, we empower our customers to provide secure and reliable access to apps and data anywhere on any device across any platform. The ShareFile solution is essential to delivering on this vision. We understand that work happens anywhere, and that means that data is everywhere, on a desktop or two, on a phone, and all that data and files have a job to do. Keeping track of all your data and your employees' data takes time and resources. You are working to balance productivity with security and manageability. Enabling your workforce with the right tools to support accessibility in a secure and scalable way is a challenge. In the absence of IT-approved tools that provide that flexibility, employees will find their own solution. Without these individual solutions under your control or management, all it takes is one data breach, one wrong click, and the company's in serious trouble. Our position at Citrix ShareFile is we provide all the tools and control you need so you and your teams can work the way you want, whether that's in the office, on the road, or a little of both. Openness and flexibility are key drivers of our foundation. We deliver on these fundamental principles in 4 ways, including secure and reliable cloud storage, customized account management and configuration for better organization and control, simple and efficient workflows for your teams and clients to collaborate, and flexible and secure access from your nearest internet-enabled device. During the webinar today, I'd like you to consider how all the tools we're going to demonstrate can add value to your business. By providing the tools your employees need with the security you require, ShareFile can help you and your teams expand productivity in a safe and secure way. Now let's dig into these and see how ShareFile is different than other products that just do file sync and share. We want to start by reviewing our most popular tools and apps. You can download these tools and apps easily from the App section in ShareFile at the upper right-hand corner of your dashboard. The ShareFile app is available in your App Store. Let's begin with our newest email integration, ShareFile for Gmail. This new feature brings the ability to share and request files right from your Gmail account seamlessly. Zach, would you mind demonstrating this great new feature?
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and change this up so that way you can see my Gmail and also my ShareFile. Okay, so regardless of whether or not you have a Mac computer or if you have a Windows computer, as long as you have the Google Chrome browser, the ShareFile for Gmail should be allowed to be downloaded. This is my home screen or my dashboard. This is what will appear when you first log in to your ShareFile account. And on the upper right-hand side, you are going to see there's an Apps tab here next to Logout. And then ideally, no matter what, apps for Windows or apps for Mac on the left-hand side, just scroll down and you'll see ShareFile for Gmail. And when you click on download, it will open up the Google Chrome Web Store automatically. And it will show, I've already added this from previous trainings. They'll just have you click on the green button here on the top right. And ideally, since I'm already also logged into my Gmail, there's 2 things I want to point out. Number one, it's kind of hard to see, but in the upper right-hand side, the little ShareFile logo, my arrow's pointing over it. It says ShareFile for Gmail. That's the extension that gets put onto your browser. This allows you to customize your options and your settings. But I also have this Gmail here as well, if it lets me show it. There we go. And this is actually just one of my dummy accounts that we're using for Citrix here. And you'll notice on the upper left-hand side, when you click on Compose, next to the Send button here at the bottom, there's a ShareFile logo. And when you click on that, it will allow you to go ahead and choose between share files or request files. So when I go ahead and click on the share files, you can either do a drag and drop, or you could just put your mouse over the green browse files and choose something. I'll do something, I'll do a larger size file from my computer. Let's go with a PowerPoint file. This bar should go into green and then go away after a couple seconds. You can send more than one file off as well, that's not an issue. But I'm going to go ahead and just keep this simple. And before I click on Insert Link, the green button here towards the bottom, on the left you can customize the options in terms of security. These three options are pretty much going to be your only options. Enter name and email is the default. You can change that default if you wanted to, but the idea behind this is that it just shows when the person receives a message, they type in their name and email to actually be able to download your file successfully. We have an expiration option as well, a couple different options here between the amount of time. I believe when you first install this, 6 months is the default, but you can change that to a different time frame. And then make sure that this green icon, it's not gray or white or whatever color it looks like. I guess it's gray. And if you click that on, it will allow you to have a notification so that you'll receive the notification when someone downloads your file successfully. And we're going to go ahead and let's see, that's good to go. We're going to click on, let me click on done because I probably did something here. Hang on real quick. I always joke these things don't happen when I do trainings for smaller groups. Let me turn it back on because they didn't like me for some reason. Okay, we do one more time. I don't want to be too, here we go. Now it's back on. Then you click on Insert Link. It creates a banner, tomorrow's expiration date, because I kept mine at 24 hours. And if you want to type in an extra message, that's fine. And then just type in the person's email you're going to send this to in a subject line, and you would just click on Send. And that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thanks, Zach. Now, the next feature we want to cover is our Microsoft Outlook plugin. This tool is really impactful once downloaded because it brings a rich feature set to Outlook that makes exchanging and requesting files with ShareFile effortless and also provides email encryption. Zach, can you show us this email integration?
Absolutely. We'll see if I have better success here. So one thing you'll notice when I get back to my Chrome browser, we're still on my Gmail screen, but we're going to switch to my ShareFile screen. I was mentioning the app here for ShareFile for Gmail, which again, just in case if anyone joined late, it's the Apps tab on the top right-hand side next to Logout that you would click on to get to this. The very first app for Mac and for Windows is the plugin for Microsoft Outlook. After you click on the download button and you follow the instructions to connect your account to the plugin, I am now going to switch to my Outlook plugin screen, or my Outlook in general, real quick. And on the top right-hand side, there is going to be this ShareFile logo. Depending on your Microsoft Office, it might be on the left-hand side underneath New Email, but it should be here on the top right. And it's going to have options very similar to what we saw with the Gmail plugin. So if you notice under Attaching Files or Requesting Files, it pretty much has the same options, it just looks different. The 3 security options. My last person actually wanted to see sign-in, so I just did that. And there's a notification green color, just like the Gmail version. The only thing that is different is if you want to change the expiration date, you can go under Encrypted Email and under General. And I'll do General for this particular example. And not only in terms of just changing the expiration of how long this person has to download these files, or click on a link to send you files, you can even change how your attachments are converted as well. At the top right here. And then all you would have to do after you get your settings adjusted, on the left-hand side, just do a regular new email like you normally would. But now we're going to see that there's an encryption off. Oh, you know what? It probably opened up a new screen. Hang on 1 second, people. So now I have this new email message. And on the top left-hand side, there's a little key lock encryption off. It shows send. If you turn the encryption on, it shows send secure. And that actually encrypts the entire message, not just the files. And then all you have to do is, again, just type out the person you're going to send it to, do a message or subject line. And then on the top right-hand side, we have the green attached file icon here and also a request file icon. And we're going to pull up a file from my computer. I'm going to probably work with that same PowerPoint file. And this banner pops up. Gmail does the same banner as well. And then all you have to do is just type up a message. Let's say I went ahead and did a more thorough message, and then they can just go ahead and click on Send Secure. And that's it. And then from there, let me go back to my Outlook screen real quick. It will show there's a ShareFile logo at the top right with 100%. When that officially goes away, it just lets you know that your message was sent, and then your customer should receive that in a matter of seconds.
Great, thanks, Zach. So the next feature we wanted to cover is our print to share file. This feature is really great for customers who have to manage multiple databases where you have to move files into ShareFile, and you want a really quick and simple way of doing that. And Zach, can you show us how this works?
Definitely. Now I'm going to go back to my Chrome browser with the list of ShareFile apps. The one thing I will say is that print to share file is available just for Windows. There is not a print to share file for Mac, at least not as of now. So when I go, again, I'm on the Apps tab on the top right next to Logout. I clicked on it, and it's just Apps for Windows. And when you scroll down, print to share file should be one of the last options here. You click on Download, and the idea behind this is it will allow you to convert not only just a Word file into a PDF file, but also even like Excel or PowerPoint. But if you are just working with a PDF right off the bat, that's fine as well. Ideally, what I'll do real quick, I'm going to pull up a PDF. I probably have to open my screen to a different screen. Hang on real quick here. So let's just assume this is one of our previous customers that still uses us. They allow me to use this form for training. And let's just assume I need to use that print to share file function. So when I click on the printer icon for this Adobe program, Citrix print to share file should pop up. It will be in alphabetical order. And we're going to go ahead and click on that, click on print. And what will pop up on your computer browser at the bottom where the taskbar is, there'll be a S share file logo, which is letting you know that it's going to open up print to share file. Again, it's very similar to Microsoft Outlook and to Gmail. You do have to, the first time you ever use this, you have to type in your name, your email address and your password to link your account. And then let me show you the pop-up that just appeared because it's not showing right now. This is the pop-up that appears. It shows the name of my file, and it allows me to either, in essence, upload it into one of my ShareFile folders, a lot of different sports folders, as you can see here. Or I can also, if I wanted to, in the multitasking function, I can not only upload this into a ShareFile folder, you can click on more actions and do a couple different things, such as email ShareFile, encrypt email, or send for signature. But again, I'm probably talking too much here, so let me just do upload only. And right now, that's going into one of my folders that's called internal. And then from there, you can keep on doing more actions, or you could just go ahead and close the window. And that's pretty much that app in a nutshell.
Awesome. Thanks again, Zach. So the next tool that we're going to talk about is our Sync tool. Sync is really powerful because it ensures that the latest version of your data is available on any device at any time. For those of you that manage multiple versions of contracts or designs, this is going to make sure that you're always working from the latest version, regardless from where you're accessing the data. And then finally, let's just talk briefly about our desktop app. We know that PCs are getting thinner and lighter, and this means that storage comes at a premium. With the desktop app, you can store data right in ShareFile from your desktop. You can upload, request, and access files without having to open a browser. We just expanded this feature to our Mac operating system as well. So I hope this gives you a better look at all the feature-rich functionality ShareFile delivers. Of course, there are other tools and apps, and we encourage you to take a look in the app section of your ShareFile space for all of these additional apps. So now let's talk about some of our really revolutionary features that can transform how you and your employees and colleagues get work done. We were really excited when we rolled out feedback and approvals to our customers late last year because it addresses a fundamental challenge across all industries. How many times have you sent a contract or a file for review to someone and gotten no response? It seems to just go into the email abyss. When you reach out to them, maybe they never saw it or received it. And what about feedback? I'm sure everyone has been on those crazy email chains where people are providing feedback on a draft and you end up with edits on top of edits where everyone is sending a different version of the same document. Feedback and approval workflow addresses all of those pain points. With just a few clicks, you can send a document out for review to multiple people. All comments and suggested edits are managed in one environment, so everyone is working in the same place. Zach, can you show us what feedback and approvals looks like?
Absolutely. So we're going to go back. I keep on saying going back to Chrome. I'm going to go ahead and say that one more time. I'm going to go back to Chrome. And I'm going to go back to my dashboard or my home screen on the left-hand side, just so we're back to like a neutral base here. If there is anything I go too fast on, guys, there's this tutorial video right here on feedback and approval, just in case, on the bottom of your dashboard screen. But on the left-hand side, there is this workflows tab. And there is feedback and approval. Depending on your account, you also might have something called a request list. But for feedback and approval, it shows a dashboard. And now, ideally, I'm going to go ahead and on the upper right-hand side, click on a new workflow button. And now it's going to give me the option of approval or feedback. Most people I talk to do approvals. The idea is supposed to be you can go ahead and send a particular file or an image file and actually get someone to click on an approve or reject button. So I'm going to upload a different PDF I use for my trainings as well. And let's go ahead and do Jackie Robinson Foundation. So I'm just following the steps here, step 1, step 2. Step 3, it does mention by default it's 30 days. You can change this to pretty much any particular calendar day, to be honest with you. And I'll just go ahead and do tomorrow because we're going to knock this out in another minute or two. The approvers are listed here. If you don't know the person's name, it does show that it's optional. So maybe if you know like their first name or their company name. We're going to go with my Yahoo email for this example. I've been using this consistently today. And let's just go ahead and go with one of my friends' names. Now, it will show before I continue downward, there is add another approver. So if you have more than one person that needs to approve of this, you could actually add a second person and then do a sequence order on who has to approve first. And then the only other thing is if you wanted to add a CC who doesn't have the ability to click on an approve or reject button, but just wants to see the workflow, you could add that person as a CC. And or if you want to give them a message, that's also fine. We will actually give your approver, I'm going to click on Start Workflow real quick. We actually give your approver like a little tutorial icon that they can click on to actually just follow everything. And then the email will go off automatically to the person. They can go ahead and approve or reject, and or they can even request changes. So my thing's running a little bit slower than usual, but it will show from the Greg Thompson's point of view, pretty much the same screen with the tabs on the top right-hand side. There is this help section here on the bottom right with a tutorial. If they don't have an account with Citrix, that's not a problem. And then from there, they will just have a green approved button or a gray reject or request change button. And if they requested changes or rejected it, then you could actually do a new version at the top here that will do like version 2, for example, or version 10. You can go up to as many versions as you want to before it finally gives you the approval by everybody involved.
Great, thank you, Zach. I know we use this feature quite a bit. You have here at ShareFile, it's really made things a lot easier when you're working through edits and approvals. So next, let's talk about e-signature. E-signature is another great feature that focuses on delivering value to our customers. We've been working hard over the last few years to deeply integrate this functionality into ShareFile in an intuitive way. Our e-signature solution provides a legally binding way to collect signatures without requiring any mail or in-person meetings. If you're spending a lot of time collecting signatures, whether it's 1099s or contracts, this feature can save you a lot of time and complexity. Zach, can you show us how e-signature in ShareFile works?
Absolutely. So when I go back to my ShareFile dashboard, I'm in the workflows from the previous time, but let me just X out this tab real quick. So right off the bat, when you do hello Zachary or hello whatever your name is, there is the shortcuts here on the right-hand side. And the first shortcut circle is Share Files. From there, there is going to be a couple different options here, but you will notice the one that's referred to as Send for Signature. And when you go ahead and click on that, there is going to be a new tab that opens up on your browser. It will be Write Signature, what we call our version of e-signature. And what's nice is now it's going to ask me to upload a file. There is a possibility of using a template if you've already created one beforehand, or you can just go ahead and upload a PDF or a Microsoft Word file that has to be Office 2007 or newer. And I'm going to go with that Jackie Robinson Foundation example again. Okay. All right, so this file just uploaded, and it does show prepare document. I'll click on that. And we're going to send this to just, I'm a big fancy football person, so let's go with someone's name real quick. Matt Ryan, there we go. Well, you know, let me do Hasselbeck instead, because I like to use the same Yahoo. If you want to have more than one person signing, just click on add another signer and just keep on typing in people's names and emails. As soon as you add a second field here or a second column, there is a set signer order, and that would just enable the sequence order for who has to sign first or who has to sign last. I'm going to go ahead and click on next. First time you do this, I believe there is a tutorial slideshow that you can follow, but anything that doesn't make sense to you, there is these question mark circles on the right-hand side. They just tell you what each portion does. So we try to make this as user-friendly as possible. And I'm going to keep this real short. I'm going to do just a signature field and a date field. So right off the bat, I have these two fields. You have to left-click on them. Right-clicking is not going to work. Just FYI, if I try and right-click anything else, here's what happens. And I'm still stuck in the signature field. So make sure you left-click everything. And we're going to go ahead and, with your mouse, just left-click this little box. It's going to create this signature field. And then in order to make this larger, just click on the circles and move your mouse at the same time to make this larger. Like that, for example. We'll do the same thing with the date field. And just for the purposes of this webinar or this training here, I'm going to go ahead and just click on Next Review on the bottom right-hand side. It will show the name of the file. That's going to be what's going to appear in the subject line of the customer's email. Add a personalized message. We will provide instructions on how to sign the document, but we'll give them like 2 screenshots. So if you don't have any extra comments, you can just leave that blank, that's fine. If you want to CC somebody, you can do that too. They will not be able to sign, but they'll be able to download a copy of the signed document if you desire to do so. And then at the bottom here, expires in. This can be any number of days between tomorrow all the way up until next year. So you can do 17 days, or you can even do 222 days. But I'll keep this simple, I'll do 1. Passcode, I don't think you guys are going to be using this too much, but if you turn it on, this just forces your customer to type in this 5-digit PIN number. You do have to email this PIN number or send a text message to this person as a separate communication. That way they won't be able to see the PIN number as soon as they get the email to sign the document. And I'll just go ahead and click on send. And then the only other major thing I wanted to point out is that when you do send this successfully, on the top right-hand side, the blue manage link, if you type in the wrong email address, just go ahead and click on that manage link, click on edit, and then just go ahead and that person can just change their, you can change it to the correct email address you were supposed to type in. And then the only other thing is if you type in the wrong expiration date or if you need to extend this, just click on actions and then edit. This blank spot you will click on and choose a different calendar day for the next year. And then from there, that's pretty much it. If you ever need to cross-reference this, you can always just go back, click on the little left triangle portion here at the top left, and it'll just show any document you've ever sent off for signature, as long as you have an account with us.
Great. Thanks, Zach. So the final tool we want to demonstrate and discuss today is our secure remote access. Traveling for work or working outside the office used to be limited to a handful of jobs and titles, but now everyone is working from everywhere. And sometimes you need to get access to files that are on your desktop. I personally really love this feature because it essentially connects all of the devices in my life in one place. I have my remote access connected to my home devices, and it's so great being able to access all my files and data, not to mention pictures, on all of my devices. You can also use this feature to access client desktops if you regularly need files or books for accounting, as an example. This feature eliminates having to wait on your client to provide you with the necessary files and data to do your job. Zach, can you show us how this final feature works?
Definitely. Let me go back to my internet. Now, depending on your account, you'll have to go to our website, which is called shareconnect.com. And when you go to ShareConnect's home screen, on the top right-hand side, there is a sign-in box. For those of you that have all three of our services, most of you probably do, it is the same email and password as your ShareFile credentials. So this shouldn't be anything different. Now, what I've already done from previous trainings is I've actually already connected ShareConnect to my work computer, which is what we're looking at right now, as well as my home computer. And I just did a ShareConnect training about 45 minutes ago. So we will be looking at my home computer in just a couple of seconds here. So right off the bat, when you first try to use this, it's going to tell you on the left-hand side, add this computer or initiate this computer. Go ahead and click on that because you're going to have to add your computer, your work computer, and your home computer or any other additional computers. We also recommend downloading the desktop app because in terms of connectivity, it's just a lot more reliable than the browser version. So what we're going to do is I'm going to probably have to switch screens, but I want to show you the desktop app version real quick. Okay, let me go ahead and switch this. All right, you're going to see a mostly blurry screen, but on the left-hand side, I have a gibberish name. So I have with the word home at the end and the word work. So because I'm on my work computer, we're going to go into my home computer right now. I'm just going to go ahead and click on it. It will prompt me that I have to type in the password to unlock my home computer. So this has nothing to do with your Citrix credentials. And what we should be looking at is going to be our work cafeteria menu on my home computer. There we go. And then what's nice is you can just pretty much go to different websites. I do have to say our turkey bean chili is pretty good, turkey and black bean chili. But the other thing that's also nice on a side note is that if you needed to go into your files or folders on your home computer, you can also do that as well, and you can edit those files. For those of you that use Windows, you can also do, I'm going to minimize everything, so we just show you my background screen on my home computer. So on the top right-hand side, it's kind of hard to see, but there's this little icon here called File Transfer. And then what's nice is you could transfer files from, in this situation, from my home computer into my work computer. So for the most part, if you're working from home, it'll be vice versa. And other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. If you're ready to disconnect from your remote session, you can either just click on the X here in the top right and just do confirm disconnect. I'll say yes. It'll take me right back to my desktop app screen, which it just closed out on. Hang on real quick. We're going to go back to ShareConnect's browser version. And that's pretty much it for the most part. The only thing you have to just make sure is that you add the computers correctly. That's all.
Great. Thank you, Zach. So I know we've thrown a lot at you today, so let's just do a quick recap. ShareFile is allowing you to work the way you want through a robust offering of apps, including our Gmail integration, our Outlook plugin, print to ShareFile, sync, and desktop apps. We are streamlining your workflow with feedback and approvals. Our e-signature solution allows you to send, receive, and sign documents from anywhere on any device. And as we just saw, your remote access functionality gives you access to you and your client's desktop anytime, anywhere. Well, I'm going to turn it back over to Michelle where we can get to answering some questions.
Great, thank you everybody. So I did just put a note out there to get those questions in as you guys were wrapping up. So questions are coming in fast and furious. So we'll start back at the beginning. Can you, Zach or Alicia, can you kind of explain what is the difference between print to share file and upload to share file? And why would you use, what scenario would you be wanting to use print to share file for?
I would say with print to share file, again, a lot of people who do just want to convert non-PDF files into a PDF, that might be a good tool or a good functionality. The only other major thing, and I will try and open up my print to share file again real quick, just bear with me. the other thing, I was mentioning the multitasking functions. So let me just reopen up print to share file, and then I'll switch to that screen real quick. Okay, there's that. Here we go. All right, so one of the things, and again, I know I kind of rushed through this, so apologies in advance, but there is at the bottom right more actions. So a lot of people, especially in our accounting industries, they actually like the fact that they could just use print to share file and then do a send for signature. So the second major thing we talked about, the right signature, you could do it this way without having to send it from share files browser if you think this is going to be more time efficient for you. Other people who like to use, if you don't want to go into Microsoft Outlook, or if you don't want to go into Mozilla Thunderbird or whatever your email is, you can also do the email share file or encrypted email share file. So that way you don't have to worry about opening up those mail clients separately. I think the ability just to multitask, to do two things at once, as opposed to just upload a file into a share file folder, is what a lot of people like in general. So.
Great. Yep. And I've heard the same thing as well, especially from the our accounting customer base. Moving on to Right Signature, can you confirm that Right Signature is legally binding, and when you send requests for signature from your ShareFile account, that document that comes back to your ShareFile account is indeed a legally binding e-signature document?
Yes. So first I want to just point out, this is a separate website that we have. It's rightsignature.com/legality. And it actually does explain how everything is legally binding and how this is just all A-okay when it comes to our e-signature laws. Now, the other thing too, if I was to send off a document to a customer, the idea is when the customer goes to fill this out, there is at the bottom right, if I had more time, I would show you this, but we just don't, unfortunately. There is a need help green color link or green color letters that they can click on. And it actually does like commonly asked questions. And one of those is this a legally binding document or a legally binding process? And if they expand the box, we do explain to them how it does, and in fact, follow the legally binding procedures, I guess we could say.
Great. And now that we're on e-signature and Right Signature specifically, Alicia, could you confirm that our Right Signature product now supports HIPAA compliance?
So yeah, that's a great question. So like many things when it comes to compliance, it's always a tricky question in terms of we just recently received Sword and Shield validation for ShareFile with e-signature as part of our HIPAA compliant, supporting your HIPAA compliant product. Right Signature in and of itself, we don't currently offer supporting HIPAA compliance. That will be resolved by the end of the quarter, but ShareFile with Right Signature as a package does support HIPAA compliance.
Okay, so all of our customers who are on the webinar today are ShareFile customers. So if they add on Right Signature and they need that Sword and Shield, they're good to go.
Correct.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I'm just posting the website right here real quick that shows the Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
So.
Great, thank you. And Zach, would it be possible quickly to quickly show what it looks like when you receive an email for signature and then you have to sign it in your email? Could you show that if possible?
Oh, definitely. I'll go through this as efficient as I can. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it again from ShareFile real quick. And let's do send for signature one more time. Okay, I'm going to use the exact same file, the same process, because I never finished off the previous attempt. So let's go with Jackie Robinson. We'll go with Mr. Hasselbeck again one more time.
And for all of our customers right now who are in the Q&A typing some questions, more specific questions about Right Signature and the features, Zach and I will actually be doing a webinar in October that dives much more into the specific features, including templates, the legality, all of that good stuff. So be on the lookout for that invite, but we will answer your question in the Q&A as well, but I just wanted everybody to know that we do specific webinars to the Right Signature product features as well.
Okay, so I just went ahead and clicked on send again. We're now going to go switch to my Firefox browser, and I just want to show you the email from Matt's point of view on Yahoo. I'll just go ahead and do a quick complete process. So right now, it should be my Sword and Shield because I did this on 2 different browsers. And I'm also going to go ahead and just open up my Yahoo. You'll see a lot of NHL stuff here and a lot of my personal different trainings. So I got 2 of these because I didn't finish off the first one. But let me go with the one I just did a few seconds ago. So ideally, there should be a button here or a link. So if they're doing this on their phone or a tablet, sometimes a button might not work with the older devices. The link should no matter what. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. Now, even though this person does not have an account with Right Signature or Citrix, that should not be an issue. These are the quick screenshots I was telling you. This is our directions we give that person on how to fill this out. So the red flag on the left-hand side, and then the number of fields that will count down on the bottom right. Ideally, there's 2 fields left. This empty bar will turn into a submit button when everything has been completed. By default, we make everything required. And then with here, I can click into it. I'm going to draw this really, really badly because I don't like drawing with my mouse built into my computer. As you can see, this is already horrible. So the person can either draw gibberish like I just did, or they can click on type signature. And we have a cursive format automatically. It's not easier to draw with your finger on your phone, I can promise you that. And then the date field, today's date will be circled. The person will just select that, does the standard month, day, year format, and now that submit button appeared because there's nothing else for this person to do. So what Mr. Hasselbeck can do is just click on the 2 submit buttons. And now at the top right, or closer towards the top center, he can click on download, get his own copy of the signed document. This is just a preview mode of the signed PDF. And then what he will get and what you will also get is a copy of the certificate. It actually shows what browser they were using, exact hour, minute, second breakdowns depending on their time zone, and also what IP address they have as well.
Great, thanks, Zach. That was a great demo, and it just shows how easy it is for your clients and customers to receive that email and quickly use e-signature. I started using it myself recently for documents that I have to sign myself and send back to people, and it just saves so much more time than printing, scanning, emailing, all that good stuff. So thank you. Moving on to Share Connect, we had a couple of questions regarding Share Connect. One, when you are remoting into that other computer, does the computer have to be powered on, and does it have to be connected to the internet?
Yes and yes. What will happen is, so my desktop app, it had the 2 names of the computers. One of them, it will state unavailable, and it will actually let you know exactly when it became unavailable based on time and date. And that does because if there's no Wi-Fi connection, because there's a power outage, for example, or if the computer's fully shut off, then yeah, that's going to be a thumbs down. It won't let you access that computer.
Okay, and our one customer on the webinar understands the use case for using remote access to access their own computer, but is there a way, would it be possible to use Share Connect to access your clients' or customers' computers as well, to be able to kind of troubleshoot with them and see what they're seeing?
Yes. Now I'm going to switch back to Share Connect real quick. I don't have this on my account because I'm more of just like a comp account, but everybody else should have this. Let me just log back into my account real quick. If I could type, there we go. So on the left-hand side, when I was telling everybody to click on add this computer, still waiting for it to get up there. Underneath add this computer, again, it's not on my account because I'm more of a comp account, but there will be add client's computer. It should be in between add this computer and download desktop app. And when you click on add client's computer, if I remember correctly, there should be a link that you could send via an email that will go off to that recipient, and then they can just follow the steps to make sure that you, as the person who's trying to connect, can actually go into their computer.
Awesome. Alrighty, and Alicia, we did have a question come in about connectors. Larry was wondering if you can access your other cloud storage services, like OneDrive and Google Drive, from your ShareFile account.
Yeah, that's a great question. And the answer is yes. And I have a feeling Zach is going to be kind of showing us this here in just a second, but absolutely. And I think that's one of the great things about ShareFile is that, you know, we are very much aware that you probably have data everywhere. And we do not require that you migrate it into ShareFile in order to access the functionality of ShareFile for that. And so Zach, if you wouldn't mind kind of showing what those personal cloud connectors look like,
yes,
that'd be great.
So this is only for people who are admins on the account. On the left-hand side, the reason why I say that is because it's only an admin setting. So when I go ahead and click on admin settings on my ShareFile home screen, it will also show there's a connectors tab right here. When you click on connectors, it's going to give you a list of all the different programs. I personally am a big Gmail person, so I have Google Drive. I connected OneDrive a few months ago. I honestly haven't played around with the OneDrive version yet, but we do have other ones. A lot of people love the Dropbox connector, SharePoint, OneDrive. So you would just click on these particular green buttons, and then from there, you pretty much just follow the steps that we tell you in regards to making sure that your Dropbox account is connected to this. And then what's even also nice on the top here, after you connect one of these, you can even manage the access of who else on your ShareFile account can access your Google Drive, for example.
Yeah, and just to kind of delineate that example. So what Zach is showing you is if you're the admin, you actually have the choice on whether or not you allow your employee users to add personal cloud connectors, whether that's to Gmail, Dropbox. You have that ability. Now, if you do enable, as Zach has, you know, for Google, for example, all of your employee users would also be able to access their Google, you know, access the Google Drive personal cloud connector as well.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I think that was a great way to end our webinar today. So I do hope that everyone was able to learn more about ShareFile, Write Signature, ShareConnect, and how all of these solutions can benefit you. Again, you will be receiving an email with the recording in case you would like to view it again or share it with your colleagues. If we did not get to your question today, I think that maybe a couple just came in. We'll make sure that you do get an email from Zach or one of our other many customer success managers with an answer to your question. Thank you, Michelle and Callie, for on that Q&A throughout the webinar, answering those questions behind the scenes. Thank you, Alicia and Zach, for your expertise today. And thank you all for your participation. Until next time, have a wonderful day.
Great. Thanks, Michelle. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys and girls.